So I'll see you guys in the chat here, and let's jump into it. So today I'll share how to skyrocket your website conversions with JARVIS. And as you guys know, JARVIS is our AI friend. Here we'll learn how to, the 3 beliefs it takes to make the sale. We'll work through the AIDA framework, the PAS framework, how to do unique positioning for your company, and the most important rule of copywriting. This is something that stuck out to me recently. I saw the movie Founder, the story of the McDonald's brothers and Ray Kroc. Somebody once asked Mr. McDonald why McDonald's is so successful, and he goes, "Our bathrooms are always clean." And the person responded, "Sure." He said, "But that's easy." "Well," I replied, "are your bathrooms clean?" And this really stuck out to me. In your business in 2021, what is your version of a clean bathroom? What is that thing that is different about your business that isn't the core, thing that you're selling, but it's the experience around where you build business? And in 2021, maybe in the online world, we don't have bathrooms. So what's your version of a clean bathroom? Well, I'll tell you that in a few minutes, but wanted to share a little story behind what Conversion AI is. And I believe Chris took this photo, or JP did. This is a photo back in Annapolis, Maryland in 2016. Dave, Chris, JP, and I are working on Proof, which is a software company, ideally helping you increase your website conversions. And it all started out with community first. We didn't have the product yet. We had the community first. And I think that was the key to building a successful company, is that it all came from the feedback from the people, and then that created the product. So we started off with this question: how do the biggest brands print profits from their ads? How do they turn their ad dollars into sales on repeat every day? And so through this community, this is a problem that we found a lot of the people had. There were marketing agency owners, there are brand managers, team directors on the marketing team, and they were trying to figure out this for themselves. And so we took it upon ourselves to try and figure out the answer to this problem by clicking on all of these ads. There was a lot of consistencies here, and that led to great software products. The online business, in my opinion, their clean bathroom is the website experience. And a clean bathroom today, meaning a great website experience, are a few things. One, it has to be fast. A slow website, your sales will not work. And so those ads will be hitting a brick wall. 2, it has to be frictionless. If you create a lot of friction in the experience, you're not going to convert. People are going to go. And in fact, there are huge companies built solely on reducing friction in the buying experience. For example, you look at the old way of buying mattresses, like with going to Mattress Firm and negotiating with sales reps. And then here comes along like all these other startups that send mattresses to your door, free returns, all trials, all of these things. It's a frictionless experience. It has to be trustworthy. There has to be reviews, there has to be certifications. And so this is one way in which, the software product Proof came out of, was building trust and showing in real time when people buy. Trust is built. And so that's what Proof was built on. Our very first product was Proof, shows in real time when people buy. Urgency. Urgency is key to creating a great website experience, because if not, they're just going to be kicking tires for the rest of time. And so you need to give them a reason to act now, whether it's a limited time offer or a scarcity with quantity supply. And then you coming up on this day in 2021, there's a lot of personalization that you can do. And so that was our second product at Proof, created Proof experiences, where you're able to personalize the site for every visitor without coding, using merge tags in the copy to completely changing the entire website experience based on who they are. Consistency, that is key. So They need, you need to be predictable in your experience, and every brand touch point is so important. So this is the importance of branding, and I think then persistence. So how do you also follow up with your website leads? And then finally, most importantly, you need to instill belief. Keanu Reeves here. Belief is key. So what are the 3 layers of belief? First layer, they need to believe in the opportunity. What is your opportunity that you're helping them escape from where they currently are and arrive at where they want to be? This is the new opportunity. The opportunity is not your product. It's going to get there. That is belief number 2. Do they believe in the company? The company is your product, your team, your backing. It is the thing that you're helping them get through. So, and in this example, actually, let me go to the third before I give an example. The third thing that they need to believe to make the sale is they need to believe in themselves. So when they arrive on the site, hey, is copywriting an opportunity for me to increase website conversion rates? Yes, absolutely. Number 2, do you believe that Conversion AI can help you get better copywriting written? Yes. And third, do you believe that it will work for your industry, your use case, your occupation, your product? And all 3 of these things must happen in this order for the sale to happen. So let's work with an example here in the group. Charlotte, I'd like to unmute you and put you on the stand. So tell me about how would this work for Brand Babes in this order?
So the latest product that I have under the Brand Babe name is my program called Clients for Days. And the new opportunity here is that a simple 3-step funnel is all you would need to scale your online business. So no ads, there are ads, no Facebook ads, no social media, no blogging. You don't need any of that. All you need is a simple, straightforward 3-step funnel.
Awesome. Okay, so that's the opportunity. Believe in the company. So how would you instill belief in your company?
So the company would be Brand Babe, and I've put a lot of emphasis on my own personal branding here. So I back that up with all the businesses, and like when I was in the tech world, I used to work at Canva, Autopilot, Square, Deloitte. So that really helps with that persuasion for authority. And then I have like heaps and heaps of customer testimonials, case study videos. And then within my course itself, I have screenshots for all the results that my students have gotten. So that's how I've been like.
And then that would be the third layer when you start getting into look at all these other people that are like you. That's belief in yourself.
Yeah. I tried to kind of share stories of different people in different parts of their entrepreneurial journey, whether they've just started, whether they have no tech experience, whether they already have an existing business, and show that, hey, look, if they can do it and your storyline looks like theirs, then this will work for you.
Awesome. I love it. Thank you for sharing. And so I want to show you a real life example. I lead the marketing here and wanted to show our site actually. Sorry, now you're seeing my mess. Conversion.ai.com. How did I layer these 3 beliefs into our site? Well, first is, belief in the opportunity, right? So this is all about what are the example use cases, letting AI, JARVIS, a fun way of saying AI, write your clever headlines and tweets and stuff like that. So this is the opportunity that people will be hooked by. Are you guys able to see my screen? It says my screen sharing is paused. No? Oh.
Nope.
No, just presentation.
Just a million downloads background.
I see. Do I believe in this new opportunity, company, and myself?
Interesting.
I don't know if you've switched slides since then.
I need to share the whole screen. Okay. All right. So starting off at the very top, here's the website. And it shows the headlines of the new opportunity, the opportunity for AI to write for you. And these are example use cases for them to be able to see. As we go down, we start to build up belief in the company and the product, and then finally belief in themselves. Now, this is just like a micro layer. This is just the top of the site, but I wanted to hit all three in a row. Now we go back to, the belief in the opportunity. Hey, AI is here and it's your assistant. It's not here to replace you. It is, here to assist you. And then it goes into a bit about the product, building belief in what it can do for you. All of these here are benefits. So showcasing in these headlines, benefit 1, benefit 2, benefit 3. These are not features. We get into features, and then also, again, belief in yourself. So you see how I'm going belief in the company, opportunity, company, themselves. And I do this over and over again. Here's more about what the company can do, so features for you, and then more about belief in themselves. And I think, customer stories selling is the highest converting thing that you can do aside from positioning. So if you can nail 2 things today, 1, we're going to get your copy dialed in, and 2, learn how to use customer stories. I think these will help you out a ton. All right, back to the presentation. So back in 1989, St. Elmo Lewis developed this marketing framework that still holds true today. It's called the AIDA model: awareness, interest, desire, and action. And it's what the funnel has been born from. Everybody goes through these phases. You don't really skip these phases. Not all of them are the same amount of time. We might be in the awareness phase for a long time before we ever develop interest or desire or action. And everybody's a little bit different. For example, me, I am quick to take action, but I'm also quick to refund. And so, I will blaze through a funnel, whereas other people, it might take them a really, really long time just to build up, the interest and desire. And then finally, when they're ready, they commit though with action. So in 1989, this was developed by St. Elmo Lewis. In 2021, we taught this framework to artificial intelligence. And, basically over the last 6 months, we've been working on, JARVIS, where we teach JARVIS, these skills that have lasted all of this time, and also with true examples or great examples of how this is done. So it recognizes patterns, and it says, if this is good behavior, and we have taught it that, over time, good job, good job, good job. Then when you give it your brand information, it then finishes the pattern. And so now JARVIS can write your AIDA framework. I'd like to now pull up. Hey, Gigi, I know you're good on the fly. You down to be a guinea pig here?
Sure, let's go for it.
All right. So I'm going to jump here into the AIDA framework. And could you tell me your company name?
AIDA Worldwide.
All right. And a 1-sentence description of what AIDA Worldwide does.
We create leadership training for large brands that are customized, easy to use, one-off.
All right. So let's see how JARVIS goes with this. I'm going to keep it at 3, and then we can always update it here if we need more information. All right. So it's thinking. All right. Do you want to create a leadership training program? Attention. Interest. we've created over 100 custom leadership programs that are easy to use, one-time use, and customize. Our clients include some of the biggest brands in the world. Interest. Desire. You can focus on growing your business instead of creating leadership training program from scratch. All you have to do is select which module you want, and we'll take care of everything else. Action. Click on this link to see how to customize. Customizable, easy to use, and one-time use modules will help you grow your business. That's pretty
Take my
good.
money right now.
Let's go. I love it. I love it. And so the more information that we give it here, the better results that will happen. And so if I like one of these, let's just say I like this one, then I can star it, add it to my favorites, and then it'll show up here in my content under favorites. So that's a really easy way to just keep track of everything that you've liked. If you want to copy and use it, you can just copy it to your clipboard. If you want to delete it, you can do it there. Just clean it up. And then let's say that it was too repetitive, or it spot out something that was just totally unusable. If you flag this here, you'll let the team know here at Conversion.ai that this was bad content, and you can even write a little note about how we can improve. And so that's really helpful for us, because every day we read all of those, and then we go and figure out how can we train Jarvis just a little bit better based on today's feedback. So this is it's self-fulfilling that you are actually training the AI alongside of us. And that's the opportunity that we have here, is to do this together. I'd like to do one more of these AIDA frameworks. So you can actually raise your hand here in Zoom, and I can call on you, which is a pretty cool feature. So if you would like to be here an example, go ahead and raise your hand.
Hey, Distal.
Yep.
Hey, Distal. I think one recommendation, like as you're trying to get like even those leadership programs, I've found, at least as I'm testing it, that like add who you're creating leadership trainings for, like adding the who, like the kind of the market is like, I think that specificity is like really helpful to kind of generate some more, some different results. So I think that's like you kind of the one liner, and then it's like, okay, who do you create leadership training for? Like specifically who it is. Yeah, and I think that's like a good way, just like the next step after you can do that initial one.
Chris, would large brands count as that, or would you like to say like, team leaders at large brands?
I play around with that. I tend to do like, who's like the end user, like the market. We help marketing directors at large brands, or we help something. That's helped me a little bit, but I can just be kind of testing things out as well.
So this would maybe be an improved version of that, like management leaders at large brands. The more specific that we can get here, the better results that come out over here. Okay, sweet. Great. So let's actually, for sake of time, I'll go on to the next one. But this is one of the most powerful ones, because I would always recommend starting with the AIDA framework, and then you can go and reuse that for your website, for your emails, for your ads. And you can just change that call to action here at the very end based on the context of where they're seeing it. All right, so then we taught Jarvis the PAS framework. And this is a newer model, but I believe it's very effective. Problem, agitation, and then solve or solution. And this is really good, because it's this agitation. Most people just go from problem to solve, but it's really important to kind of twist the knife, as you would say, make them feel a little bit pain out of that. What is the end result that, showcasing what is the, frequency of that pain and the severity of that pain. And so the more that you can showcase this in your copy, it gets more emotional. And we know that people end up buying on emotion. So here's an example from Basecamp. Problem, working with other people. I think it's funny that's a problem. Agitation, struggling to keep everybody on the same page. And then solution, it's time to try Basecamp. It's time to try the Basecamp way. So this here, just in one ad, that is so simple and easy to use. But you could also expand upon that. Instead of it just being 3, short sentences, you could actually have 3 paragraphs or 3 full sections to your site. And you can even do this over and over again. There's probably multiple problems that you're solving. And so you want to agitate that problem over and over again from different angles. So let's go ahead and see how Jarvis can write our PAS framework. All right. Let's see. Who will I call on today? All right.
Just so I think
Anybody?
that in the chat there was I don't want to mess with is it Charlene?
Yep, that's me.
Yep.
Awesome. Hey, Charlene, how you doing?
I am fantastic. How are you?
I'm good. It's good to see you. I'm doing great. Let's go ahead and I want to know what is your, I was messing around with Trey yesterday. Trey gets on point. So Trey, Charlene, what is your product name?
Well, the company name is Site Flow Hero.
Flow Hero.
Yep.
All right. And what does Site Flow Hero do?
Website optimization and basically getting more of the right kind of results and leads to your site.
Is it an agency?
If you count one person as an agency, yes.
Yeah.
I'm the chief cook and bottle washer right now.
Yeah. Consulting for who's your primary audience?
Mostly WordPress sites, lead gen, small businesses.
Do you have a certain niche that you help?
Whoever right now, it's kind of whoever's in my immediate network and whoever I think is not really business niche, just like kind of lead gen, small business. Like I've got a dog trainer or a real estate agent as clients right now, for example.
Yeah, we can do small businesses. So consulting for small businesses to optimize.
To drive more of the right kind of leads to their site.
Oh, okay. So it's
leads
traffic.
And conversions. Yeah. Well, not just traffic, but also conversions, because anybody can drive, oodles of traffic to your site, but what happens afterwards, If it's the wrong kind of traffic and they bounce, that's going to push you down in search results.
Yeah.
Behavioral metrics are a thing.
So do you do SEO?
Yep.
SEO services? How about Facebook ads?
No.
Okay.
No, just mainly organic optimization and what's called growth-driven website design, which is more of an iterative process. Like you release a minimum viable product in like 3 months and then iterate, in sprints as you go along, instead of just the set it and forget model.
Okay.
Of website design.
Cool. I think that this is probably enough for Jarvis to figure out. So Site Flow Hero is a consulting for small businesses to optimize their website so they drive more conversions. And then you can just throw in, SEO there. You can also like give it instructions in here, even though, we've given it this really, kind of purposeful forms. You could even, I've seen success with saying something like, tone is funny. And then it can understand that. So you can speak to it here in the descriptions. Over time, we've been adding, we've been on our back end, like testing this stuff. And so sometimes you'll see tone or examples or other, additions into this form field. Let's go ahead and see what it
Well,
generates.
what are the question? What other examples can you use for tone? You got funny, professional, straightforward.
There's no list. It is
okay.
I think that you can test it out and see if it responds. All right, so let's talk about.
I have a help doc. I'll send it. I'll put in the chat. A help doc that kind of gives like I think it's like 52 like tones that you can kind of begin to test with. Again, there is no.
Oh, that's
limit,
perfect.
But it does.
Do you have a list of the tones that we can like inspire? It's like, do you have some special characters you have to put after the text so you can like create a tone?
So I'll send it over. I mean, I just basically have a list of adjectives that you could possibly use. Like there's 155 tone words plus meanings, and like there really is no limit. Like we've actually been testing emojis, so really you can put anything, and you're constantly testing. But this at least gives you some inspiration.
Yeah, that's perfect.
Great. So all right, let's read what Jarvis has written. All right. So problem: you have a great business, but you don't understand how to drive traffic and conversions. Agitation. I'm not going to lie, SEO is confusing as heck. It's also really important if you want more people finding your website online. Solution, Siteflow Hero can help with that. We'll optimize your site for search engines so it ranks higher in Google and other search engines like Yahoo and Bing, etc., which will bring in more visitors who convert into paying customers. What do you think about that, Charlene?
That's amazing. Jarvis is amazing.
Let's also look at some of the other ones. So what I think is interesting is, when we do 3, it'll take sometimes different positioning. So it'll find a new problem maybe to go after. So this one potentially is, the problem is that most businesses don't know how to optimize their website for conversion. They often end up hiring the wrong person and wasting money on SEO services that don't work. Agitation. When we search online for website optimization or SEO services, there are thousands of options, but none of them will solve your problems because they're always too generic. You need a solution tailored specifically to your business's needs. Siteflow Hero specializes in optimizing websites so they drive more conversions and increase revenue per visitor. And they do this by combining their expertise with CRO and their knowledge of SEO services best practices, which we call conversion rate optimization. It's like getting 2 services done at once. So you can see how it's
I'm going to nitpick a little bit. Yeah.
I went off the rails a little bit here.
Yeah, but that's fine. This is AI. This is a great basis for me to start from. If only I'd had Jarvis back when I had Daming profile.
It's funny because
I love that.
We get some of the tuning that we have is randomness. We allow Jarvis to be either more accurate, which means he's confined to the words that you have here, all the way to, hey, Jarvis, make some crap up. And so whenever you see something is like really off the rails, I want you to go ahead and flag it and say, like, this is a little bit too random. Let us know that stuff. Whereas if it's just repeating itself over and over and over again, it's because we've, slapped Jarvis a little too hard to get in shape, and we need to give him some room to, to think and be creative. So know that we have a little control over that, and, give us some feedback on how that goes.
Definitely. Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't expect, if I have a specific service, name, I wouldn't expect Jarvis to specifically know that. But yeah, that one sentence where it's like, well, we call it conversion optimization SEO because we're combining conversion optimization and SEO. I'm like, well, wait a second here, Jarvis. But yeah, that's great. That's great.
Yeah, absolutely. And maybe it'll stir up some ideas that you can actually use in your business. Thank you, Charlene, for sharing. I appreciate that. One of my favorite books of all time is Positioning by Al Rice and Jack Trout. And one quote that stands out to me is, the basic approach of positioning is not to create something new and different, but rather to manipulate what's already in the mind and retie the connections that already exist. Now, first time I read this, my mind was blown. But as I continue to think, what does this really mean? Positioning is, in layman's terms, I think it's, how do we be resourceful and think, what are all the ways that we can change the angle of our business that is unique? And so to make this simple for you, so you don't have to think too much about positioning, we created marketing angles. And so what this does is takes multiple approaches at your problem and solution to combine them with positioning statements. And I believe that this is one of the most valuable out of all of the templates that Jarvis has, because when you test these, you come to find what is the positioning statement that has the most resonance. And as an example, we've been testing this here at Conversion.ai. out of all of the positioning statements that have been tested, the number one that I'm finding is that JARVIS helps you overcome or break through writer's block. Not saving time. It's not, outsourcing work or replacing engineers or replacing junior copywriters. It's none of these things. That's multiple angles that we can take. But what we found is that the one that resonates most is you'll never have to look at that blank page again. Now you have a place to start from. Now you can break through that writer's block. And so we found that by using the marketing angles. Here it is. Marketing angles. So here we go in, we put in our description for Conversion.ai and it spits out, all of these unique ones. And know that on this one, we did increase the randomness factor. So it will sometimes, come up with some stuff that is not accurate for your business, but that's on purpose. And I want you to try, and spit out multiple versions of this. That way you can allow it to be creative. And so I think this is going to be really valuable for your business. I saw that Eugene has raised his hand. And so Eugene, I'm going to see if I can make you allow to pin spotlight for everyone.
I can. Oh, okay.
All right, Eugene. So
Hey.
Let's go ahead and talk about your business here. What is your company or product name?
Power of the Mind.
Power of the Mind. All right.
Right.
And could you describe it?
That's the name of the company. And so we offer programs, courses for personal development and therapy. Or psychotherapy, if you will, to make it more official.
Sure. And who's the primary audience of person that's going through this?
Psychotherapy is one word.
Thank you. And who's the primary avatar that goes through this kind of program?
Well, actually, over the years, I've noticed that my main groupie is about 80% ladies, 35 to 55.
I'm going to say middle-aged females.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And for personal development, for using psychotherapy. Would that sound accurate? That Power of the Mind is a program and course for middle-aged females for personal development using psychotherapy
and psychotherapy.
Great.
Hold on a second. So we offer programs and courses for middle-aged. Yeah. Okay.
All right. Let's see how it goes.
It sounds a weird. It's like when you added that in the middle is kind of like twisting the whole meaning of the sentence.
It'll figure it out. It doesn't have to be a perfect sentence, actually. So see all these different angles here. Psychotherapy is important for middle-aged women. Get your life back on track. Our certified personal development instructors offer you the power to change your life. Services specifically tailored for middle-aged women with our program and programs designed just for them. I don't know about that last one. Let's see, a good one. Cultivate healthier relationships with family, friends, and coworkers. So that's a unique angle. It's like, we want to help in relationships. But what are all the different parts of their life? Identifying old habits that may prevent men from experiencing from healthy connections in society. We teach women on how to take back control of their lives by empowering them through hands-on classes that train themselves in mindfulness meditation practice.
That's a bit iffy.
That's a bit iffy on that one.
The last one, yeah.
Okay. Looks like these could be, potential headlines. See, improve relationships. What is the main reason that people go through your program?
Well, it's not relationships really. It's more like I have a problem and I want to find tools or methods to help me solve my problem, which is an emotional or health issue.
Okay.
So mental or physical health, basically.
So sometimes it is physical. You're talking like physical therapy, like you got in a car accident and you need
No,
help.
it's more like I have some sort of illness or a phobia. So I have like, I don't know, like ulcer, or I have a low blood pressure. I want to normalize it, and how can I use the power of my mind to do so? Or I'm going through depression and I'm sick of it. I want to get rid of it. How do I do it?
Mm.
So stuff like that. So self-help, personal development.
Yeah. So I have found that providing examples, real life examples, is very helpful. So even like
so I wouldn't put
overcome.
blood pressure there, but I would say overcome depression, curing phobias, panic attacks, those kinds of, those would be like the usual suspects, basically.
Great. And so can
And you can
pop
also
this
throw in
down to
phobias if you
2 so I can use less credits.
like. Yeah. I think you can top up.
All right. If you're a woman, we have the perfect program for you. I love that it calls out the avatar in the beginning.
Yeah.
You want to overcome your fears, we can help. You deserve a lot more out of life. It's time to take change and make it happen, and learn how to deal with your anxiety and panic attacks quickly.
Yeah, those sounds really good.
Even just adding these.
They sound really good. Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah,
They're
Eugene,
more on
thank you
point,
for
for sure.
for helping us, see this in real life.
Thank you.
All right, so that's marketing angles. Highly recommend starting with AIDA, problem agitate solution, and marketing angles. This will give you a lot of material that you can use throughout the copywriting on your site. But now I want to make something a little bit more tangible. So the most important rule of copy, I don't know if anybody knows this. And of course, if I'm going to have a slide presentation, I have to get Mr. Goldblum in here. So the most important rule of copy, it's test. Yes, we can all day come up with ideas, and Jarvis can come up with ideas, but we don't know which one's actually going to work. And we had a lot of suspicions that even Conversion AI on which of our angles would end up working the best. And I was kind of surprised that, a blank page is the most daunting pain of them all. And so, I would have put money on, that copywriters are expensive to hire or other things like that. But in fact, so far, what we're finding is that wasn't the number one pain. So always test your assumptions. On average, sorry, let me put on Do Not Disturb. All right, so on average, 5 times as many people read the headline than they do read the body copy. And so when you have written your headline, you have spent 80 cents out of every dollar in advertising. That's really important to know, because David Ogilvy is, the king of advertising. And I think this is so interesting. If you're going to test anything on your site, in the beginning, test your headlines. So to make this easy, I want to share some frameworks about what is a great headline. And so you can screenshot these pages. Of course, you can watch the recording later. And you'll come to find out we actually taught Jarvis some of these frameworks. So the 4 checklists for writing powerful headlines is: number 1, is it useful? Can they actually find utility out of reading this headline? Does it help them understand something more? So this could be a fact. This could be an industry trend. It's like, did you know that artificial intelligence now can write your copy for you? That's actually useful. Another headline could be Tesla buys $1.5 billion in Bitcoin. That's like a useful headline that gets clicked on. Urgent. This could be in the same, tone. It could be this urgent.
Only 5 minutes to buy.
Yeah, 5 minutes to buy. Check out this stock pick is about to pop off, or something like that. It's like urgent. This is timely information that you need to take action on as soon as possible. Unique. So this would be, a counterintuitive or a myth busting. And then ultra specific, 21,875 customers use proof to boost their conversion rates. Ultra specific, it tends to be very clickbaity, but also that's why clickbait exists, because it does get clicked on. For functions of a headline, and by the way, you don't need all of these, just the more you have, the better. And same with these 4 functions of a headline. So number 1, you need your headline to get attention. If it does get attention, then it's likely the other things will follow suit. They also need to identify the target audience. So if you just have a headline, I recommend then putting in that headline or around it, calling out your ideal customer. So I tend to do this with our headlines where I'll say, attention marketers, or hey marketers, and then I go into the headline after that. Or you could be something like, we help marketers boost conversion rates, or we help authors never look at a blank page. All right. Deliver a complete sentence. If they're going to read the headline and then not the body copy, at least they'll walk away knowing something. And so I think one of the best examples of this is how insurance, you have Geico. Geico saves you 15% of on car insurance in 15 minutes. You walk away like after that headline at knowing what they do. So it's these work really well, especially in like 15-second commercials or something like that. You want to just deliver the complete message. Draw the reader into the body copy. A listicle, 7 ways to, increase conversion rates, blah, 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 blah. Now they're being drawn into read, what are the 7 ways? So now we taught Jarvis a lot of these frameworks, and he can now apply it to, or it can now apply it to your brand. All right. So Charlotte's raised her hand down to bring you back. So let's go ahead. And I do want to announce a new framework I created over the last couple days called the Perfect Headlines. And right now it's in beta, but I'll be testing it here over the next few days to make sure that it's in your hands soon. All right, so let me go ahead, give you the spotlight. Charlotte, let's go ahead and put in your brand name. Boss.
So let's call it Clients for Days. I guess that's the newer product.
Like that?
Mm-hmm.
All right, cool. What's the description?
So I've been trying this as well because I always get weird outputs. So I've been trying to figure out what's the best message, but I'll just say what I normally do and maybe you can teach me how to make it better. A 8-week coaching program to help entrepreneurs start and scale their online business without social media, using a simple 3-step funnel.
Okay.
And then sometimes I throw in generate leads on autopilot.
Great. All right. So this is a new form field that I'm testing out to see how it works. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. So still tweaking it. Mm-hmm. But who is your ideal customer persona?
It would be coaches, consultants, or done for you service providers.
All right. And then what's the tone of voice that you'd like to have your brand say?
Quirky.
Smirky? Is that what you said?
Quirky.
Quirky.
Yeah.
How do you spell quirky?
I think it's with an I. Yeah.
All right. Let's see how quirky does. I'm excited to see this.
Maybe that's why I don't get anything good. It's because I put weird stuff in.
I like it. Okay. I need to figure out that. So I'm going to flag it. No results. All right. The startup blueprint. I wonder why it pulled in that. How entrepreneurs can quit their job with automation, start a business without spending time on social media. It's pretty good. Coaching program that builds 7-figure online businesses that are safe and easy win. Set, forget, and profit from your online products, software, and services coaching program.
Ooh, that one's good.
Yeah.
I like that
No
one.
matter if you're a tech guru or a newbie.
Yeah.
All right. I can't believe I'm giving this away for free. That's an interesting headline. I think some of these could be really good subject lines for emails too.
Yeah.
You can repurpose a lot of this stuff. The simple 3-step system that helps clients start and scale their businesses without social media. This is not your typical coaching program, but it will never be again. Interesting. Okay.
Getting too quirky.
I know you're busy, so let me get to the good part. It's only $10 a week. Here's why I'm 100% confident this program will change your life forever. So yeah, it's interesting. Like, it's pulling in, a couple things I've trended on is free is one of the most powerful words in the copywriting dictionary. If you can add free in somehow, it will get higher conversion rates. 2, I forgot ellipses, the 3 dots at the end tends to also get higher conversion rates. And then inputting in the customer name, like coaches and consultants. So some of these have pulled that in there. Yeah. And so all these things have started to kind of compound, and that's what the results are here. This one's not perfect yet, but as a community, I think that we can really tune it in to work for you. What do you think about this, Charlotte?
I love number 4. I'm like literally writing it down right now.
Which one?
I did it long, the number 4 on the first one, because I love the set and forget. I use that in my own conversation as well.
Mm-hmm.
So I like that. So I guess for me, like I always get weird results. I don't know if it's because I put in weird stuff, but I'm wondering if it's the things that I put into my product description is maybe it's misinterpreting things because I'm putting too much in.
Yeah, that can be possible. Each of these skills are independent from each other. And so, I think if you can, let us know which ones are acting different, that's helpful for us. And then, tweaking this, try going really long, all the way up to 400 characters.
Yeah.
And then try doing it short. And, by not using a lot of credits, you can just like bump this down to 3 and feel free to test that.
Yeah. Chris says to specify the 3 steps of the funnel to try.
I think that could be like an interesting thing to like, it's like, who knows what the 3 steps are? Maybe it's like getting clients on the phone, booking phone calls, getting your website or whatever like those 3 things are, just kind of adding those in there can like be more specific. Because I think, again, the product description, the more specific you can be on there without being like overly like jargon words that we always understand. Like that helps out a lot. Like I did like for proof, I could add, how to generate more leads by adding social proof to your website, like turning, I added like some words. I added FOMO. I added like FOMO period. I added don't be left behind period. Just adding some like keywords also in the product headline or product description. Because that's something I've tested a lot. It doesn't have to be like just one perfect sentence or 2 perfect. You can add keywords as well. Just make sure you put a period in there too.
Gotcha. Okay.
But I do think you can't put too much text. If you put way tons of specific stuff, I think it can kind of mess it up. We're always kind of engaging that.
Cool. Okay.
Sweet. Thanks, Charlotte, for hopping on. Cool. So, yeah, I want to say thank you, everybody, for attending. That is how to use the AID framework, the PAS framework, different marketing angles, and your headlines. Continue to be a part of the community, and thanks so much for being here today with your attention live. I can stick around and answer more questions here, but wanted to right here at 1 hour on the dot. Let's go. We made it happen. So now open it up for conversation. We can raise your hand if you have a question, and happy to continue. All right. Charlotte, you got a question here? No? Oh, okay. I just saw that little hand thing was raised. Garrett, how you doing?
Good, buddy. Hey, I know a lot of people always want to write books And where would you start if you have an idea for a book and you wanted to use JARVIS to help the writer's block that you talk about? Because I think that's always the fear of the first step. Which part of the website would you lock into to get going if you have an outline or a good idea, but want to get going on another a book or your second book, or just the idea of a longer form version?
Yeah. So we've been testing this, and if Darby's on, he can maybe give some more clarity to, because I would say he's the one that's like really pioneered how to use JARVIS to write to create books. But I will share my opinion. All of this is still an experiment. Let's see. But one thing I like is the blog post outline. So starting off with just your title. I know you wrote the book 10 Seconds of Insane Courage.
Yep.
And so from here, you know, it can generate sections of a blog post, but this could also be expanded on, you know, into a book or something else. And maybe these, you know, it doesn't have a ton of, we can add more to the description
good
here.
already.
So take a deep breath, ask for the promotion you deserve, tell them how to tell your crush how you feel about them. I've heard you say that before. Confront somebody who's been making you uncomfortable at school or work. Talk to your ex about what went wrong in the relationship and see if they want to give it another try. That pretty good tactics. Like that could be a blog post right there.
You could do something just like how to like ways to show courage daily in society, or like at the workplace, or whatever it might be. Like rather than 10, because I think maybe the 10 seconds might be could be missing up ways to be courageous at, you know, whatever.
You could also use this for like short tweets or short messages on Facebook, or short videos on Instagram or YouTube. This is, you know, like you just put it in there and you have the inspirational message of the day.
I love these. Look, all four of those are just retweet.
But then you can take those speak up when you have opinions, like 5 ways to speak up when you have an opinion, 5 ways to ask for what you need, 5 ways to take a risk for do something that scares you, 5 ways to be kind to yourself. And you can like expand all those things.
So let's
like
do 5
expand
ways.
on the expand.
Yeah, so now it understands, okay, this should be a listicle of 5. Ask questions about things that confuse or scare you. I like that.
It's good.
Yeah, so then what you could do from here is go to the sentence expander, and I can say, you know, speak up when you're uncomfortable. And I don't know, let's go funny just to give it some lighthearted feel. Bump this down to 3. I always like to do 3 when I start to test, so they know to stop. Did you know that the human body can survive up to 2 days without food, 3 days without water? How is that at all related? I know that it's not easy to speak up when you're uncomfortable, but believe me, nobody wants to be uncomfortable either. It's way better if both of us are. And so, yeah, like this, you know, it has to be shorter nowadays. Like I more think of this not as a sentence expander, but as a like a bullet point expander. So a short thought can then be expanded into a longer thought. And then from here, I also like to use, where is it? The content improver. I think this one's pretty awesome.
Mm-hmm.
We are testing out some stuff in German. So I could just go to, I don't know, our blog. And let's say you're like, for me, sometimes in the early morning, I don't want to be creative. And so I'll just ask it to, I'll just like put in facts here, you know, just the like most basic plain email or whatever. Like, oh, I want to write an email about free trials. And then I think we guys have tone of voice. Chris, can we maybe add tone of voice back to this?
Yep.
Okay, so from here, I'm like, what if this is just pure facts? I could ask it to improve these, and I'm crap at spelling, so I use that one a lot. And this is always original content, by the way. It's passes all plagiarism test. It is using information that you put in here, also from its knowledge from the internet, which it downloaded in 2019. So it's pulling. Imagine that Jarvis is your best friend that knows everything the public internet knows, and then applies it to the content that you put here on the side. So, I would say these are better even than this. And, we had a content writer write that. In a world that changes with the touch of a button, digital marketing has never been more dynamic. Terms like influencers and podcasters were unheard of decades ago. Nowadays, apps such as TikTok and Instagram have become integral in the modern day marketing strategies.
Wow.
Like, that's pretty great. And it's fully original, which means Google loves it. And it's keyword heavy based on the content here. So I can just like fill this up with the keywords and things that I'm interested in. Also, if like I want to just put in, I'm trying to tell a story in my book, I could just tell it the facts of the story. Like, girl arrives in Hawaii with family. Fiction story. Let's see. After years of planning, the girl and her family finally arrived in Hawaii. The anticipation is palpable as they get off the plane and are greeted with warm air, beautiful scenery, and a man dressed up in a traditional garb. The feeling of excitement in the air when she arrives. She has never been so far from home, and yet she isn't sure what to expect. See, like, this is like a great thing to get the juices going. It's not to say that this is what you have to publish, but damn, is that better than just a blank page?
Yeah.
What do you think about that, Gigi?
I love it. I think it's fantastic. And like you said, I think as someone who's written a book, it's always hard starting with a blank page. So I even love that you guys are leaning into that as your marketing angle for Jarvis, because that's just always the pain point, the kind of the fear of the first step, to be honest.
Yeah, absolutely.
I
hope that this can be useful. Do you guys have any other questions about how this can be used?
I have a small question, if I could.
Yeah, sure.
Talking about keywords, can you kind of have fixed keywords points to Jarvis? Because you put in stuff and then you get results, but sometimes it has nothing to do, let's say, with keywords you need to focus on. So were you planning on really making Jarvis kind of fixed somehow, or like getting it less creative, let's say, for some content that you need to be more specific? Even maybe just a UI like thing to have a keyword and then to see if the keyword is outputted in the Jarvis output.
Yeah. So I see that we don't have one on keywords yet. Chris, maybe take a note of that we could do something where, you put in 5 keywords that it should try to include, and like the randomness is small.
Exactly.
That way it's going to pull more likely from its input. So yeah, I think, on that use case, you want it to be as accurate as possible rather than being super creative.
And second, regarding languages, so which current languages do you support? Because I saw you have like output languages, but which languages are currently supported?
Let's see. So we have support and FAQ here in Notion. And this is a really helpful area. Let's see. So what languages does Jarvis know? Currently, these are the languages here.
Cool.
And you probably know half of them, huh?
Yeah, but you don't have Hebrew. Hebrew is too small. But I do have Portuguese and German. Yeah.
Or Romanian.
Spanish.
Mm-hmm.
Hebrew, not yet.
Nice.
Thanks. Cool. Cool.
Yeah. Any other questions, y'all?
Yeah, one quick question regarding keywords. This might be more of a kind of secondary step. But one thing that I've noticed is as Google moves more towards NLP, natural language processing, you're gonna, it's better to not necessarily shoehorn one specific instance of a keyword into the copy, but more to provide those contextual clues and work the keyword in more naturally. Is that something that, we can help to teach Jarvis to do?
Yeah, I mean, I think it might be to do it just as I showed you in the sentence expander, and then put that into the content improver.
Mhm.
Basically, like you start off with kind of what you want to say, and then you put it in the content improver, and now it formats it into purely original content, that still has the keywords in it. And so I think you can hop around between those two. One thing I think we're getting towards is workflows where one goes into the next and into the next. So if there's
like it.
a process here where, to do good keyword, to create a blog post, maybe you need to do like these templates in order. I think that we're on our way there. Right now it's a la carte buffet, but eventually maybe there will be like a more opinionated series of steps.
Makes sense. I like it.
Yeah.
Hey, Austin, quick question.
Hey, Don.
Hey. So I'm starting to write more and more email flows for clients. In your opinion, if I were to, obviously, subject line and email content, where would I start off? Which template would I start off on?
Let's see. Subject line. See, we have email subject lines is coming soon. Currently, we're testing it. And so if you would like to participate in that, I can send you the direct link to it. And love to get your feedback on it. We've been teaching it subject lines that are the highest converting from 20 for the last couple years, especially from like our friends at Digital Marketer and others that test this stuff all the time. We're feeding Jarvis that. So, I think that's what makes our company really unique, is that we're just so deeply involved in the marketing world, and we're pulling our friends that are the best at copywriting and marketing to teach Jarvis. So, we're asking Ryan Dice, getting his top email subject lines and then telling Jarvis, here's good behavior. And so, yeah, that I'll send you, just remind me, I'll send you the link to that email subject line. It'll be out in the next week anyway, if you guys, would like it. Chris says here, you can email Jarvis at Conversion.ai if you want to be a part of those upcoming templates. We just ask that you do give feedback. Chris, think about, is there anything that you want to add here? In the meantime, want to share inside your portal, there's a way that you can earn a lot of free credits. So here in the top right, earn free credits, and you can give 10,000 credits to somebody, and then you'll get 10,000 credits in return. Currently, I think our number one referral is Mr. Dylan Hay. He has a lot of credits racked up over the last few days, posting on LinkedIn, emailing his list. And I know that, maybe some of you guys, credits are great and you're looking for, maybe commissions in the future. That the referral program or the affiliate program is coming out soon, and you can get on the list for that by going to conversion.ai/partners and get on the request to become a partner here. I'll be releasing that. We'll give out 30% recurring commission on all new sales for the first year. But if you don't, feel like promoting this to a large audience, then just giving your buddy 10,000 credits is a great way for you to be able to write the next book. Yeah, Chris, any thoughts here you want to add about what you're working on?
Yeah, I just put in there also. I just kind of released that to the Facebook group today, and we'll have this in the app where you can actually earn 5,000 credits anytime you hop on a call with me and just let me like see you work on it and like how you're creating content. I told this still today. Like I've just thought of like in the same way that we have to kind of train Jarvis on the back end, like we're constantly doing that. Like we need to train ourselves. We need someone to help. We need you guys to train us on how to make the product more useful. And there's just little things that every time I hop on a call with someone, I see, oh wow, that doesn't make sense. Oh yeah, that makes sense. So there is, yes, you can call me every day if you want to. There's a link, Conversion.ai/5K, and I just have kind of a calendar open, and just gives me a chance to learn kind of how you guys are using the product, what's working, what's not working. Hopefully give us better feedback than just kind of like a text result. So book a call anytime. I was like, I'll watch you create content. Hopefully we make it better, and then I'll add credits to your account.
Awesome. If there's no more questions, thanks for participating in the community. I love the community that we are building here, and it's great to meet you all in person, or, you know, here